Hello students, good morning. At last, yesterday's lecture we solved question number 7. Now we start today's session from question number 8. Look at question number 8. Refer to question number 2, exercise 14.2. What is the empirical probability that an engineer lives less than 7 km from her place of work, more than or equal to 7 km from her place of work, and within half kilometer from her place of work? So three questions are asked, but first of all we have to go there in exercise 14.2, question number 2. Okay, till then we cannot understand what is the actually matter is. Okay, so first of all we go there. So that is the question number 2 from exercise 14.2. The distance of 40 engineers from their residence to their place of work were found as follows. Okay, so now distance of all engineers distance from her house to her company is given. Suppose first engineer lives at 5 km far from her workplace or his workplace. Second engineer works at 3 km far. Third engineer works at 10 km far from his or her residence. Okay, so same way all 40 engineers distance between their workplace to their residence is given here. Now don't look at last three lines. That is actually topic of lesson number 14, not of 15. So now they are asking us less than 7. Less than 7 means not include 7. Either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 kilometer only. But don't include 7 here. So how many engineers lives at less than 7 kilometer distance from their company? So you can look here in first row there is a 5 and 3. 5 and 3, 2 are given. Okay, in second row there is again 2 is given, last observation. In third row there is a 3, then 5 and then again 3. So total 3 observation from third line. In fourth line there is a 2, then 6, then again 6. So in first row 2 observations, second row 1, third row 3, and fourth row also 3. Okay, so 2 plus 1 3 plus 3 plus 3. So total 9 observations are less than 7 out of 40. So obviously our answer will be 7 upon 40. Okay, so you should first of all understand question well. Less than 7 kilometer from her place of work. So we don't include here 7, but we counted all number less than 7. We counted 9 out of 40. So obviously our answer is 9 upon 40. That is our first answer. Now second one, more than or equal to 7 km from our place of work. Now no need to count again all the numbers. Either they are 7 or more than 7. Why? Out of 40, 9 observations are less than 7. So obviously remaining all are either 9, either 7 or more than 7. So just subtract 9 from the 40 observation. So 40 minus 9. 40 minus 9. Okay, so 31 left. So obviously 31 observations are either 7 or more than 7. No need to count it. Why? Because second event is complementary event of first one. Complementary means what? Remaining all, negative event. Less than 7, then what is left? 7 or more than 7. Okay, so remaining 31 observations are favorable here in second question. So answer of second one will be 31 upon 40. 31 upon 40. Okay, you understood that? Because 9 are counted as favorable outcome of first question. And second question is quite opposite to first one. So remaining all observations are favorable for question number 2. So obviously they are 31. No need to count it. So 31 upon 40 will be answer of second question. Okay. Now in third one they ask about within half kilometer from her place of work. Within half means less than half or half. Now notice single observation is less than 1 means minimum is 2 kilometer. Minimum distance is 2 kilometer. So obviously third one having zero favorable outcome and it is impossible event. Impossible event. Okay, why? Zero favorable outcome. So answer will be 0 upon 40, 0 only. Okay, so P of C will be 0. So nothing is difficult now, just understand and count first of all. And how to write that you already know. Here 3 questions are given, you have to show whole description in first sub question only. Second and third answer you can write directly only. How to write? I just telling fast. Let A be the event that an engineer lives less than 7 km from her place of work. I just copied from question number 1. Then second step of first sub question, number of favorable outcomes equal to 9. Total number of outcomes equal to 40. So therefore third step, P of A equal to M by N. M is 9, N by 40. So answer will be 9 upon 40. That is our final answer. No need to convert it into decimal. Okay. Now second and third, if you want, you can write full, but not compulsory. Okay. Now we go to next page. Now 9 and 10 are activity. That are just activity. Look at directly 11. 11 bags of wheat flour is marked 5 kg. Actually contain the following weights in flour. So basically there are 5 kilograms weight should be there, but no exactly 5 kilogram. That print is of 5 kilogram, but actual weight is 4.97, 5.05, 5.08. Okay, so total how many bags? 11 bags. So total number of outcomes equal to 11. So n is 11. Now what they ask? Find the probability that any of these bags chosen at random contains more than 5 kilogram of flour. More than 5. Don't include 5. Don't count 5. But more than 5 only. So look first of all, second observation 5.05. Third observation 5.08. Fourth observation 5.03. Then sixth observation 5.06. Then again 5.08. Then next one is 5.04. Then next one is 5.07. So count total how many is? Total 7 observations are here. 5.05, 5.08, 5.03, 5.06, 5.08, 5.04 and 5.07. So total 7 observations are there that are more than 5. So answer will be 7 upon 11. Okay, writing method you already know, we just discussed. So again very simple question, just count number of observations. We counted 7 out of 11. So 7 upon 11 is answer. Now look at number 12. In question number 5, exercise 14.2, you were asked to prepare frequency distribution table regarding the concentration of sulfur dioxide in the air in parts per million of a certain city for 30 days. Using this table, find the probability of the concentration of sulfur dioxide in the interval 0.12 to 0.16 on any of these days. Now understand, they have actually given in that question the concentration of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere, and it is measured in ppm, parts per million, and that is given only. Now total 30 days data or 30 days surveys was collected. So now I just show you the solution of this question, not main question but solution of that question, because that is useful here. Okay, so 14.2 question number 5. So I lead you to 14.2 question number 5. Look here. Concentration of sulfur dioxide in ppm. ppm means parts per million. Million means 10 lakh. So out of 10 lakh, how many particles of sulfur dioxide on particular day? So 0 to 0.04. So 4 days, frequency means number of days here, because total 30 days are there. So 4 days concentration of sulfur dioxide is from 0 to 0.04. In 9 days having sulfur dioxide concentration 0.04 to 0.08. So you understand now what they ask in question. They ask from 0.12 to 0.16. So we just concentrate on particular row only, 0.12 to 0.16. Look there, 2 days only. So out of 30 days, 2 days are of those type in which sulfur dioxide concentration was 0.12 to 0.16. So obviously our answer will be 2 upon 30, means 1 upon 50. Okay, so don't confuse by remaining extra data. Don't concentrate on remaining words or remaining sentence. Just concentrate on main point of the question. Okay, what is sulfur dioxide in a concentration? What is ppm? That is not all important here. Just look what they are asking. They are asking the number of days in which concentration is 0.12 to 0.16. Okay, so that is already given here, and 2 days are of these types. Okay, so 2 upon 30, 1 upon 15 will be our answer. Now look at last one. Again here exercise 14.2 question number 1. Prepare a frequency distribution table. Means in that exercise we prepare table, and that table is given at answer page. So that's why we directly go to answer page. Okay, now the blood groups of 30 students of a class. So in this one, blood group of 30 students given. Use this table to determine the probability that a student of this class selected at random has blood group AB. If you randomly means blindly select any student, then what is the probability that selected student having AB group? Okay, so now we interested in AB group only. So we have to count how many students are there whose blood group is AB out of total 30 students. So look there, 14.2 question number 1. Look at first one. AB, how many students? 3 only. So 3 students having group AB. So obviously answer will be 3 upon 30, 1 upon 10, 0.1. Okay, just simplify it in simplest fraction or decimal also, because in upon 10 is there. So very simple it is. I think if you practice any one question or more than so many questions, in each and every sum, the matter remains same only, not a new concept in each case. So all questions are in similar type of in particular context. But writing style is also important here. That's why in initial first lecture of this lesson I insist on how to write. And from this lesson mostly short questions are asked, either of 1 marks or 2 marks or maximum 3 marks. Okay, so that lesson is very scoring. You can score maximum or full marks from this lesson if you just try to understand question well and just give your answer by proper description. Then nothing is difficult there. Now I want to give few example of objective questions, either blanks or MCQ, whatever you consider it. You already give a test of maths chapter 15 MCQ type, okay, on Monday only, yesterday only. So you are aware of few questions asked in test also. Now few more question I am giving you, just look there. Same type of question asked yesterday in Monday's test. P of A 0.85, then P of A bar. A bar means not A. Sometimes it is presented by A prime, sometimes A bar, sometimes not A. All are equal only. So P of A plus P of A bar is always 1. Remember this thing. At our first lecture, I given you this formula. Actually, that is not formula, very simple concept is there. So using this one, if you are given P of A, then you can find P of A bar. If you are given P of A bar, then you can find P of A. So if any one given, you can find another one. How? By subtracting that given value from 1. Very simple. Okay, so I just subtract 0.85 given value from 1. So that is 0.15. Very simple. Now in second one, P of A bar given. So how to find P of A? Subtract 3 by 4 from 1. So I subtracted 3 by 4 from 1. So it is 1 by 4. Now in third one, not P of A, not P of A bar, but relation or proportion of both ones is given, means ratio of both one is given. So how to find P of A? So whenever ratios are given, we can suppose that way. Suppose P of A 5x, P of A bar 2x. So P of A plus P of A bar equal to 1. So 5x plus 2x equal to 1, 7x equal to 1, so x is 1 by 7. Now we can place value of x. So P of A is asked, but actually P of A is 5x. 5x means 5 into 1 by 7. So is equal to 5 by 7. Okay. Now if it is asked in objective questions, MCQ or blank, no need to show calculation. At that time you can give your answer directly also. How directly? Just P of A is asked. So what is the number of P of A? 5. First number is 5. So 5 upon total. Total is what? 5 plus 2, 7. So write down directly 5 by 7. And if you are asked 5 P of A bar, then write down 2 by 7. Why? P of A bar, second number is 2. And total is 7 only. So without doing this description or mathematical step, you can give your answer directly also. Okay, so these all three questions are related to P of A plus P of A bar equal to 1. Very simple. Now, few more questions I given. If one die is rolled, then probability of getting prime number. Actually, what is die? Die or dice, you know. That is a one type of cube. One type of cube. Having 6 faces, you know, cube having 6 faces. On all faces, one number is writing from 1 to 6. If you roll it, then what is the number at upper face? That is the result, outcome. Okay, so if you roll that dice, then what will be outcome? So total outcomes will be 6 only. Now what is asked? Prime numbers. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many prime number that you decide? So total number of outcomes are 6. Total number of outcomes 6. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now number of favorable outcomes 3. Why? Prime numbers are 2, 3, 5 only. 1 is not prime number, remember it. 2 is prime number. Then 3 and then 5. So total 3 numbers are prime. So our answer becomes 3 by 6, 1 by 2. Okay, so these types of question mostly are related to one die. In standard 10, you will learn about 2 dice also. But in standard 9, even in textbook, not a single sum of even die is given. But in objective, many times it is asked. Okay, so total outcomes are always 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what is asked? Primes. So 2, 3, 5 taken. So 3 upon 6. M3 and 6. Now same here, I have not given here answer, but I just orally give to you odd number. Now look there, how many odd numbers? 3. 1, 3, 5. So again 3 by 6, 1 by 2 answer in question number 5. In question number 6, even number. So again even number are 3. Even numbers are 3, 2, 4 and 6. So again answer will be 3 upon 6, 1 by 2. So 4, 5 and 6 all having same answer. Now 8, composite numbers. What is composite number? Not prime, not specific. 1 is a specific number and 2, 3, 5 are prime number. So subtract or remove these all 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 5. So remaining 4 and 6 are composite numbers. Composite number are those numbers which having more than 2 factors. More than 2 factors. Otherwise you can remember, except prime number and specific number, all other numbers are composite number. So here 2 upon 6, 1 upon 3. Okay, so in number 8, sorry, I forget to give number 7. So now just forget it, 7 number, directly 8. So composite number 2 upon 6. Why? 4 and 6 are there. So answer 1 by 3. Number 9, factor of 8. Factor of 8. So how many factor of 8? 1. 1 is a factor of 8. 2 is a factor of 8. 3 is not factor of 8. 4 is a factor of 8. 5 is not factor of 8. 6 is not factor of 8. So 1, 2, 4. They are factor of 8. Factor means you know by which number 8 is divisible. That is called factor. That is called factor of 8. So 8 is divisible by 1, by 2 and by 4. So total 3 factors are there. So answer is 3 by 6, 1 by 2. Then number 10, multiple of 3. I have written in short only in bracket. Multiple of 3. So multiple of 3 are 3 and 6, 2 only. Multiple means you know, table of 3. So 3 and 6 only. So 2 upon 6, 1 upon 3 is answer. In 11, greater than 4. Greater than 4 means only 2 numbers, 5 and 6. Not include 4, greater than 4. Okay, so 5 and 6, 2 numbers are there. So 2 upon 6. So again 1 by 3 is answer. Between 2 and 5. Between 2 and 5 means 3 and 4. Not include 2 and 5 itself. Why between? Between means you know. So in 12 number, between 2 and 5 means 3 and 4. So 2 upon 6, 1 upon 3. If instead of between, it might be written from 2 to 5, then it may be 4. 2 and 5 also included. But if it is from word, then only. But here between word is there, so we cannot include 2 and 5, but in between number only. Okay, so of same types of only, just you understand what is die. Die or dice, both are same. Die is singular, dice is plural. Okay, so out of 6 numbers, just mathematical knowledge if you are having, then you can attempt any questions. Now 13, if one coin is tossed, then probability of finding tail. Just like one dice, one coin. If one dice is rolled, there are 6 outcomes. If one coin is tossed, there is 2 outcomes only. 2 outcomes only, either head or tail. Only 2, not 6. So here getting head 1 by 2 and getting tail also 1 by 2. Okay, in 14 head is asked, in 13 tail is asked. So 14 solution I have given there, total number of outcomes 2, head and tail. Favorable outcomes 1 only, head, because they asked about head only, not tail. So obviously answer will be 1 by 2. I have not given their answer, but answer will be 1 by 2 only. Okay. So up to 14 only today we keep our this MCQ. Totally there are, I think, 25 questions. 25 are there. Now look there. In a non-leap year, probability of 53 Sundays. You know, total number of days in a year, particularly non-leap year, 365. So in a year, total 52 weeks are there. 52 weeks are complete. So how many extra days are left? One only. That's why I divided 365 means total number of days by 7. So I got quotient 52 and remainder 1. That remainder is important here. So only 1 day is extra. So in 1 day extra, either Monday come or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Saturday, any day can come. So probability of getting any particular day 53 times will become 1 by 7. You just remember that formula, extra days or remainder divide by 7. Upon 7 is fixed. You have to write remainder in numerator in these types of questions. How to find remainder? Divide total number of days divide by 7. Total number of days divided by 7. Okay, so in first one we got answer 1 by 7. In second means 60. In a leap year, probability of 53 Friday. Again 53, but this is a leap year. First one was not leap year. So in leap year total 366 days. 366 days. So obviously remainder will be 2. So answer will be 2 by 7. Okay, whether it is Monday or Friday or Sunday, whatever day, that is not important. Which day is given, that is not important. Any day, repeating 53 times, its probability will be 2 by 7 in a leap year. So answer of 16 will be 2 by 7. Now same way, if month is there, suppose in a December, probability of 5 Tuesday. So you know, in any month there are total 4 weeks. In a year 52 weeks. In a month 4 weeks are complete there. So you again just divide by 7. So you will get 4 as a quotient, means 4 complete weeks. So how many extra days are there? That is important for us. So here 3 remainder is there, means 3 days are extra. So can we give answer 3 upon 7? Okay, here 5 times repetition is as. In a whole year 53 repetition is as. Why? In a month 4 weeks are complete. In a year 52 weeks are complete. Okay, so don't confuse by 53 or 5. That is not matter for us. We are interested in finding remainder only. How to find remainder? Dividing total number of days by 7. Then what will be answer? Remainder upon 7. Okay, so here 3 by 7. So same way 18 number, February of leap year. You know, February of leap year having 29 days. 29 days. So obviously remainder will be 1. So answer will be 1 by 7. In 18, no, total number of day will be 29. So remainder will be 1. So answer will be 1 by 7. In 19, February of non-leap year, 28 days. If you divide 28 by 7, answer will be 0. So probability will be 0 upon 7, 0 only. Okay, so 19 answer 0. Because in February of non-leap year, complete 4 weeks are there. No day repeat for 5 times. For 5 times, no day repeat. Now 20. In a month of April, so in April 30 days. So 2 reminders, 7 4s are 28. So answer will be 2 upon 7. In 21, probability of the event, that is simple only. Sun rises in the west. You know, sun rises in east only, not west. So probability will be 0. 22, probability of the event that a person born will die. Person born will die. What is the probability that जो इसका जन्म हुआ है वो मरने वाला है, इसकी probability कितनी? Never 50%, never 80%, वो मरने वाला ही है. Okay, so any person born will always die. So probability of that event will be 1 only, 100%. Why? That is certain event, sure event. Okay. So these types of simple question can also be asked. Now here you just remember that formula, day related, remainder upon 7. Where from remainder get total number of days divided by 7. Okay, so that two concept you have to remember, and you have knowledge of how many days are there in particular month, that also you should know. Then only you can give answer, otherwise no. Now three last question. Probability of getting 80 marks in a 100 marks paper. So what is the probability of getting 80 marks from 100 marks? So number of total outcome 101, not 100, 101. Why? If I take test of 100 marks, then I can give 0 marks also. 1 marks, 2 marks, 3 marks, likewise up to 100 marks. So total outcomes will be not 100 but 101. And number of favorable outcomes 1 only. Why? 80. So don't write 80, 1 only. So number of outcome 1. So answer will be 1 upon 101. Many students make mistake here. They write down 80 upon 100. So both numerator and denominator both are wrong. Why? Denominator should be 1 more than total. And in numerator, don't place value, but count that number. How many numbers are there? Just count that number. Which number, that is not important. Whether it is question related to 40 marks, 43 marks, 61 marks, all having same answer. Which number is not important, but how many number, that is important. Okay. Now same way 24, probability of getting more than 40 marks in 50 marks test. More than 40. More than 40 means 41, 42, 43 up to 50. So 10 numbers are there. 10 numbers are there, not 1, 10. And denominator 51. Why 51? From 0 to 50. Okay, so answer of 24 will be 10 upon 51. 10 upon 51. Why? From more than 40, and total marks are 50. So from 41, 42, 43, okay, up to 50. And denominator will be 1 more than total marks, so 51. In 25th, probability of getting more than 80 and less than 90 marks in 100 marks paper. So denominator will be 101, that you know now. But in numerator, more than 80, don't count 80. Less than 90, again don't count 90, but in between number only. So from 81 to 89, 9 numbers are there. 25, 9 numbers are there. From 81 to 89 only, don't include 80 and 90. So 9 upon 101 will be answer. Okay, so all of similar types of question, but most important, and you know our next week monthly test will be from lesson number 15 only. Okay, so you just concentrate on this MCQ also, and in this test descriptive question also ask. Okay, so now today's homework, how many sums we solve? 4 sums, 4 or 5 hardly. Just look there. First of all 8, then 11, 12, 13, 4 question only. So 4 question in homework book, then in fair book homework. Then write this all objective in directly fair book, all 25 question in directly fair book. Okay, you just show calculation also whenever possible. Suppose in that number 5 you have to write something, just like me, I have written in 4 number. Okay, so 5, 6, 8, 9, in all question you have to write 2 or 3 lines minimum, so that you can understand where from answer came. Okay, so all 25 questions in directly fair book, and 4 sum today discuss are first in homework book, then only in fair book. So your fair book should also be parallel completed. Okay, So now today our this probability lesson is ends. Okay, so this over now. Now next lesson will be 14 statistics. That is also interesting lesson. Okay, so on next Monday we will discuss new lesson number 14 statistics. Okay, thank you.